All right. Hopefully you can hear me and you can see me. Good morning and welcome back. Daily Degen's back here. Good morning to Lou as well. Yeah, let's get it on here. So we got back from the cruise. We have a little bit of a recap today, but really I'm going to kind of stretch this out over the week because there's so much that happened on the ship this past trip that I want to cover it from both a cruiser whatever standpoint, but also from the gambling, because the gambling was very, very, I'll say, interesting on the cruise. Cruise ship gambling is a whole different animal, man. It's like you go to Vegas and you're there for a week or whatever, and yeah, you're playing a lot, but you're not. It's not like a cruise ship. It's a whole different animal when you're on a ship because you're such a small group, captive audience, and the team that you form is just different than it is in Vegas or on a extended gambling trip somewhere else. It's just a whole different deal. So anyway, we will chat about that here in a little bit, but let's get forward here. I got to move my my screen over here and do something like that and change this to this. And yeah, let's go. Before we get into the meat of the matter, remember everything I say, and I say everything you hear anywhere else on the internet, filter it through the lens of goals, bankroll strategy, risk, right? How you can identify and capitalize on opportunity, keep your emotions under control, which again on a cruise ship is tough to do. Because you're playing for so freaking long, right? The mindset, the discipline. Now on the cruise ship, my goal was different, right? It's your goal. It's funny you say this, right? But on a cruise ship, your goal is not necessarily to make profit, right? On the cruise ship, your goals are different. Your cruise ship goals are earning that free cruise, number one, then layering profit on, then the experience. It's a whole thing. But anyway, quick reminder of the upcoming stuff. Right? My birthday, 9/12 in Vegas. We're going to do a birthday Friday night thing. And then Saturday, Sunday, the 13th and 14th, it's going to be a Casino Quest Palace Station, Craps for the Cure. David had an initial meeting with the GM at Palace, and we've got the discount code now. Finally, we have that all figured out. It'll be easy. Working on filming rights and a private table for us, both on Friday the 12th, Saturday the 13th, and Sunday the 14th. We're going to see if we can't get filming rights and a private table at Palace for those. That's my next thing. And then the third layer of that is going to be getting a little bit of a tournament going at one of those tables. So more to come on that as the week progresses, but that's that. I'm probably going to stay in Vegas through the October 3rd, because October 3rd, 4th, and 5th is going to be the casino tiers thing, plus the big AZ thing. All back to back. A lot of stuff happening in the fall. Also in October is the next Dice Cruise from Premier Casino hosting. So that's going to there's a lot of craps coming up in that month. I really have to kind of buckle down here and save some money because it's going to be a ton of gameplay coming up there from my birthday mid-September all the way through mid-October with that next Dice Cruise. So anyway, that's what's happening in the world. But I really want to talk about the cruise a little bit. I was kind of leaning up to it before the last week. We saw, we won. We actually did really, really good gambling wise on the cruise, but the cruise itself, I say we won in life, man. That cruise was amazing. Like if you're a cruiser, I know that Ian's been up there. Ian Olson here is in chat. Where is he at? Welcome back, Cotter, he says. Ian's been to Alaska. His brother works up there. He's from Alaska. Like, that's some different country up there, and that's some different freaking people up there too. Alaskan people are a different breed of people. When you learn about Alaska, like how hard it is to live up there, like the amount of rain, the amount of the straight sun days in the summertime, the straight black nighttime in the wintertime, it's a different world, man. And those folks live differently, and much respect to them. But also like the cruise, seeing the glaciers we saw the glaciers like up close, right? And the glaciers that you see on whatever, the video, like National Geographic or whatever, it's cool until you're there and you see it. You can't say that you saw it. Like it's the one glacier, you look at it from the boat, you're like, oh, that's pretty big. You know, that's really, I'll show you some pictures maybe tomorrow. It's cool. Then you get there and you're like, oh my God, this thing is 5 miles wide and it's 26 miles deep and it's growing. Like, what you hear a lot about is, global warming and all the glaciers are melting and the seals are going to, I mean, what's happening is one glacier we saw is advancing. It's growing 8 feet a year The other one's retreating 4 feet a year. There's this give and take between these things. It's interesting how all that, the ecosystems up there work. It's fascinating to watch the wildlife and all that shit. The whole cruise, you're like in the channel, like you're going up the inside passage, right? So the whole cruise, unlike a Mediterranean cruise or a cruise out of LA, where you're at sea the whole time, this one you're inland, and everywhere you look, you've got snow-capped mountains and bears and seals and all kind of shit. Like everywhere you're looking, there's eagles flying around. We had dolphins doing the dolphin thing next to the cruise ship while we were eating dinner one night. Like it's the best thing I've ever seen in my life. It's really the best thing I've ever seen in my life. It's unreal how good it is. So if you ever have a chance to go to Alaska, go. It's not a cruise that you could ever expect to be comped. Yeah, Greta will be so depressed. It's not that the thing is, global warming is like a thing, right? Like, but it's in different parts of that part of the world. Like it just affects things differently. Like the water flow from this one goes to that one. It's a whole thing. Like it's all, everything, the water is not going anywhere. It's just moving from here to here, right? It's just, but fascinating to watch. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, you got to get there. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, if you can make a living playing craps in a cruise ship, I live on. You almost kind of can. I mean, not. I hate to say it like that, but because you can cruise for free, and it's easy to cruise for free. Like Brian Holy Roller makes his whole channel on this, right? I earned my free cruise in 2 days playing craps. My wife earned it the first night. Kathy earned her free cruise on night 1. Let's actually get into it a little bit and talk about what happened, right? Kathy started. Here's the thing: we get on the cruise, we do the big balloon ceremony, and we go to the casino. Like right away, go to the casino. And there was about 3 of us playing craps. There was maybe 20 people in the casino, right? They call a random set of names, and to play trivia. It was 4th of July. We left 4th of July, right? So Kathy's name gets called for the 4th of July trivia, and they held the trivia right at the what do you call it? The Texas Hold'em table, which is right next to the craps table. If you saw my tour video, you'll see that the Hold'em table is right there. So they're playing USA trivia, and we're all playing craps, and of course we can hear the questions, right? And Kathy's going crazy and answering. She wins the trivia contest, right? Like, we won and they gave her $776 in free play. Okay, so she wins the $776, goes over to the poker machine, the video poker machine, and I'm like, whatever. She max bets the $776, wins $2,000, and earns like 1,400 points. It was like 1,397 or something like that, right? The free cruise is 1,500 points. So you basically won $2,000 in a free cruise on night 1. Like, it's not that hard, right? On craps, it took me a couple, 2-3 days to get there because of bet sizing and that kind of thing. But you can earn a free cruise very quickly. It's not like it's hard to win, 1,500 points. And then the rest of your time there, you're getting extra points so that when you get to 2,500, you get to bring another person with you and all this kind of stuff. It's not that hard. Right, it isn't that hard if you have enough money to win, right? I brought $2,000 and I was ready I had $5,000 in the bank, right? But I brought 2 with me. I never dipped in past the first 1,000. Like I rocked that first 1,000. I had my envelopes with me, and I never broke into envelope number 2. I just used the one the whole time. It wasn't that tough, frankly. Mom played a lot of blackjack, didn't do very good. She lost some money. Just the wasn't friendly to her at blackjack. She played a little bit of craps with me. We tried the team play thing for a couple days. It was fun. We did okay, but Kathy really doesn't like craps. She tried it. She's like, I just don't get it. It's too much. For her, it's like, information overload. It's like, I'm talking too much. We're trying to do the thing. And like, I got Mom on the pass line parlay. I got Kathy playing the 6 and 8. I'm doing the Horseman, and sometimes I'm doing other shit. And there's so much going on. She just hated it. She was like, this is just too much for me. My mom ended up not liking the pass line parlay. She wanted more action. My mom's kind of a gambler. She wanted to go 6 and 8 and press. So she was going like pass line 6, 8 and press a little bit. And then she stopped doing the pass line completely and just did 6 and 8 and pressed. She enjoyed it to some degree, but I think she enjoyed playing with me more than she enjoyed craps. Like, she just wanted to be side by side more than the game, right? So for her, she made money at craps and she lost money at blackjack. She ended up down, but I think she just liked the camaraderie of craps, but didn't like the game of craps. Like she was really confused by puck on, puck off, where's my money? Like not sure when to put her bets down. And it was a lot, for, somebody who's 80 playing for the first time on a live table. It was like, so anyway, she did all right. For me personally, it was a first couple days, right? We made our points because I played the Horseman, and I told you I was going to do this. I played the Horseman at 50 don't, at 25 on the comes. I made my points pretty quick because it's a 125 average, which is a pretty good average, right? Most people are betting 44 inside or $12 6 and 8. I got 125 out there, so I'm racking up the points pretty quick on that. But I didn't really win. Like we had this. It was obviously we tread water with the Horseman, but I had a lot of times where the Horseman just crushed me early on the come outs, right? So it didn't work that great. But overall, I was up about $500 in regular play. Regular craps play, I was up a little bit. Not a lot, $100 a session, roughly. Figure that as my $500. It seems like it's a lot of $500, a lot of money. But about $100 a session on average is what I won. I had a couple of downs. I did have a $2,600 double hardway parlay win, which is a miracle win, which I'm calling as a separate thing. I'm not even counting that as my win. Okay, we'll talk about that later. In roulette, I'm up about $300. I didn't play a lot of roulette, but I did have a couple of great sessions. I did the hopscotch thing with 2 dealers. So I asked the dealers, like, what's your favorite way to watch people play? And they were telling me, I'm like, let me show you something. Tell me what you think of this play. And I did the hopscotch, which is, you start with the 50-50 bet. When it wins, you go to 2 dozens. When one of the dozens wins, you go to 2 dozens plus a double street. And I played that. And the one dealer, she's like, oh my God, you're using, like, I said, I have $100. I have 10 $10 bullets. Let's see if we can do it. Right. So she said, you're taking 10 times. And if any one of them wins, you end up winning like $90 or whatever the thing comes out to be. I'm like, yeah, so we're going to do that. And she's like, you're playing roulette like craps, is what she said to me, which is true. You're using your wins to leverage to make more stuff happen. So she liked that, which was cool. And we made some money there. After tips, I was up 560. In addition to the 2,600 that I had won on the Miracle Run. Kathy was down about 2.5. My mom was down about 750. So between us, our regular casino play, we were down about $500. But I did have the one Miracle win, and we all 3 won not only a free cruise for ourselves, but we won balcony rooms plus a cruise for a friend. So it's actually kind of a win right there. So I think we did pretty good, all told, for 7 days. I mean, cruise ship gambling is different because you're playing, like I said, for 7 freaking days, right? It's a lot. You're there for, I played for probably 3 hours, I played for 2 1-hour sessions. Then I would leave and come back and play for 3 hours at the end. So I got about 5 hours a day in, and it's a lot, man. It's a lot of time to get on there. So again, Kat didn't like it. Mom tried the parlay, preferred the 6 and 8 better. Okay. I did the Horseman. It was rough early because the come out 7s were real, man. It was like probably 50% come out 7s, or 50% of the shooters had a come out 7. It was a lot more than I'm used to, for no reason other than it was just that's how it was this week, right? So getting the don't passes through was very, very hard. I ended up playing a lot of, lose the $50, go to 25, and then do 10 10 10 come is how I ended up doing a lot of it. So it was a grind. When that worked out, it'd be like come out 7, then $25, then $10 come bet, and then we'd catch the 7 and get back, whatever, 40 out of the 50 we lost in the first. It was a lot of that, right? I did a ton of skill 66. I did the skill 66 when I was down. What I would do is go 66, take the $21 win, drop the buck, go to 88, take the win and pull it all down and take $50 off of a shooter and just wait and let it happen and then do it again. I did a lot of skill 66 for $50 and stop playing versus skill 66 down to 44 and keep playing. I did more of the $50 save it than the 44 and play it version of that thing because I was trying to catch back some of the earlier loss, right? When I went, really I switched over from the Horseman to skill 66 and tier pressure and duck and cover. I kind of bounced around once I earned the cruise. Once I got my 1,500 points, I went more right side and just had more fun, right? Tier pressure worked really well. What I basically did there was I would do a skill 66, right? I went 86 across, right? So 66 inside, $10 on the 4 and 10. The 4 and 10, I would go sister press, and collect, right? They were a separate gambit. The insides, I would do a skill 66. I would go from 66 to 88. And then up from there, I'd go collect, press 22. Collect, press 22. Collect. And probably 6 times I got the inside to 330 doing that. And once I got the black chip, I pulled back down and restart the process. I didn't stay out there and keep running it up because I wanted to stay consistently on top. And that's kind of what we did. That was tier pressure. Duck and cover I did when I was shooting. Every time I shot, I did duck and cover, 160 across. And I would kind of pull down the sisters. That worked really well for me when I was shooting. I actually shot great. I had two PSOs. The rest of the time, it was 6 to 12 to 20. I shot really, really well from all points. We did really good. Dr. S, I got 2,400 and change, but the casino boss bumped it to 2,500, so I get the balcony. So I earned 24 and change. I got 2,500. Kathy got about 4,600 points playing video slots, which is fantastic. My mom got 2,600. So all 4 of us got more than enough. You only need 1,500 points for a free cruise, right? 1,500 points gets you an interior cabin. $2,000 gets you a balcony stateroom guaranteed, and 2,500 gets you that plus a person. So it's not hard. Like you all can go on a cruise the way that you all play and earn it like that if you're consistent. If you're just playing 2-3 hours a day, you're going to make it. It's very easy to make the free cruise. It's not like it's rocket science. You just got to play and put the hours in. Yeah, video poker and craps is all you'll play. I mean, that's the thing, right? Video poker, Kathy crushed it at video poker. Like she ended up losing money for the week, but she got so many freaking points on it, right? It was crazy. The table was a 10-foot table. It was small. I think I showed the video I put out the other day shows you that the table is very small, very firm. In fact, when I shot from the end, I had a really hard time getting to the back wall, believe it or not. I was doing the chopper from the end, and it was because it was so short, I'm trying to like baby him in there, and they would just stop. Like I had to really throw him to get him to bounce forward to the back wall. That's how hard surface that table was. You had to think about it a little bit. But honestly, it was great. It was a good table to throw on. I would say that tables were normal. Like I don't believe in choppy, cold, or hot tables, right? I just think what happens. There were times where it felt like one side of the table was just all PSOs, and then our side was all good, and then we the same thing again. And then somebody new walks up and they have a great roll, and then who cares, right? The thing about it is you have to play. I'll put this back up here again, skill. You've got to play in ways that don't matter if it's choppy, cold, or hot. Like I look at it like if the skill 66, for example, goes down, PSO, you lose $66. The next time it works and you make $50 and you stop playing, I look at myself, okay, I'm down $16. Let's do it again. The next shooter comes up, I do a skill 66 and it works. Great. I won $50. Now I'm up $45 and I wait. And the next time, if it loses again, fine. I was up 45. I'm down 66. Who cares? And that's how you kind of do that, right? And enough times where it wins versus where it gets his butt kicked, you end up surviving some of that stuff, right? I think the choppy, cold, hot thing is it's a thing where if you don't know how to survive when it's not going your way, 2 or 3 shooters in a row, you're gonna have a problem. If you have a plan to survive that and then progress it when it goes okay. Like I said, when I was shooting and did either the duck and cover or I did the more aggressive tier pressure type of thing, that makes up for all the bad ones. It really does, right? And if you look at like my big win that I had that day, I got about 10 minutes here. I'm just checking the clock. My big win, right? So one of the times when I was shooting, I did the 110 inside. And when I did 110 inside and the outsides, of course, when I took my $35 win off of one of the numbers, right? I would take the $35, let's say the 6 hit, right? I bring the 5 and 9 down to 10 each, right? And I would put $5 on the hard ways and bring the rest of my rack. Next hit, the 6 and 8 come down to 12 each, and I put the hard ways back up to 10 each. That's what I was doing, right? So now I got the insides at 44. Go to the wall with that, right? The 4 and 10 were always going to be on the full press. what happened with me, I did that a number of times, and twice I hit a good hard way, right? You know, hit the hard ways to $100. Once I went from 10 to 100 and hit it, right? $900 win. Went to 200 and hit it again. That was the miracle run, right? On that the one shot that I had, it was on day 3 or 4. I went from $10 on the hard ways to $2,600, right? 3 hard sixes in a row I hit. And actually the dealer, I had money, the dealers had $50 on it, right? They were like, you know, the one lady was like, hard, 3-3 from me, 3-3 from me. She was like yelling it, and we hit it, right? That's a miracle. That's the kind of thing that, like you can, when you do something like that, then you go, okay, I can survive the rest of this crap now, right? Then you feel like you got a little bit of play in the game. But really, I just kind of ground through it and made it happen. That kind of thing, by the way, people ask me, how are you possibly in your whole life up playing craps? The reason why I'm up playing craps is because of exactly that. I know how to grind up 50, down 50, up 45, down 15, right? All day long. A couple of times the tier pressure works and I win $300-$400, right? And you're kind of in here, right? And then you get some big $3,000 win out of nowhere, right? Cool. That covers up, 2 months worth of losses. That's the way that you end up being ahead for your life. It's not because I'm this great player that knows how to beat the system, right? I know how to grind the system here. And then once in a while you have a slammer, and it makes up for a lot of the ugly, right? That's the way that it happens. And if you keep one bank account going where all the money goes in there, you can watch that thing grow over time instead of shrink over time. Because once in a while, you go to the bank like yesterday and you deposit $3,700 when you took out $1,900, and you're like, da-da, right? That works, right? That's how I've done it. Like, you get lucky once in a while and you grind the rest of the time. It's the people that never grind, that just go and just degen it all the way down every single time to 0, that never have a chance. And that's where my gambling series came into play, right? Like, you learn how to make it work for a while until it really works well one day. You get an ATS win or some bullshit like that, right? So anyway, that's that. All right. What else we have here? Roulette was great. Again, we did hopscotch, 2 dozens plus a double street. I did a permanent press one time. And I did it right out of the gate. Right out of the gate, I did the permanent press, but the one guy was really cool. He dealt roulette, craps, and blackjack. He was great. He was from Ukraine, I think. 30-something years in the cruise ships he was. He liked the permanent press a lot because it won. I walked out the table and I picked dozen 1, dozen 2, and he hit first and second dozen 5 times in a row. So it was like press, 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 bam, done. I won $100 and I walked away. Matter of fact, the last win, I said to him, because he was a great guy, the last win, I said, look, if we win again, if you roll another small number, we're going to split it, right? So he hit the small number. We split the win. I knew where I was. It made me have, a 50% win. I was up $100, and I gave him half that win, right? And that was pretty cool. Oh, by the way, I meant to tell you this. Tipping on crap. Oh, we'll talk tomorrow. We'll talk about tipping tomorrow, because tipping on the cruise ship is a different animal. But roulette stuff got me thinking, though, and I'm really on the hunt now. And I think I'm going to start doing some more roulette videos. When we get back, when the table gets rebuilt out here, and I start filming from on top again, I'm going to get back into more roulette stuff. I really want to dive into roulette through the mind of a craps player. And things like permanent press, the hopscotch, these other ways of playing that are more, use your wins as leverage styles of play versus negative progressions that you typically see in roulette strategies. I'm going to dive into that a little bit and start converting some of my content over to roulette, because I think there's something in there that the larger roulette community is missing, because they look at it from this Fibonacci magic lens instead of from a lens of leverage. So anyway, there's that. All right, so let's get some quick questions and answers in here before I bug out. And I don't know that I haven't answered them already. I saw a lot of them coming through. Let's look at the queues. There are no questions. Oh my gosh, how about that? Are there any PCs? There are no PCs. You guys are awesome. What else you want to know before I jump in? I got a couple things I want to close out with here today. But if you've got some questions or comments, let me know. Dustin is saying that's BS. Are you saying it's BS that I won the parlay, or BS that's how I stayed up? And again, when I gave you my numbers earlier, I'm up $500 for the trip. That does not include the $2,000 win. Like that to me is separate. When I say I'm up, like my regular play got me up. That magic win is a magic win, and it's totally over here. It's totally over here. It's a separate thing. It goes in the bank, and it's great. It feeds the bankroll, and it makes the bankroll nice and big. But I don't look at that as my play. And I know that's like some folks will say, hey, I turned, I bought in for 300. I'm out for 2,000. How'd you do it? Well, I hit the ATS. Okay, that doesn't make you a good craps player. That makes you lucky that day. That's why I look at the hard way parlay thing. I got lucky with the parlay. It doesn't make me a good player. I got lucky that time. That money helps later buying in for 750 instead of buying in for 500, right? Those things increase the bankroll, increase the buy-in for later on. So, my theory on profiting. Yeah. It's not theory. It's how I do it. Like I grind, and I make a little bit here, a little bit there. And once in a while, the big ones, right? The big ones just help. It's like, I don't plan for the big ones. Like the big hard way parlay, it's beautiful when it happens, right? The ATS win, it's beautiful when it happens. I look at that like a side hustle. Like, somebody called me and said, can you make me a website? And I charge them $5K for a weekend worth of work. That to me is the hard way parlay. It just so happens that it happened on the table I was at. And it just so happens that money goes into my account that I gamble from. And that account got bigger, right? As a result of that. Over my life, my regular losses are 10, 20%. I don't typically lose a full bankroll. I'll lose 10, 15, 20%. I'll win 20 or 30%. That's why I'm always kind of here, right? I'm never, if I'm down for a while, whatever, I might have 3 or 4 of those in a row, then I win, whatever. The big ones cover it for me. I don't plan for the big ones. Some people will go 0, 0, 0 trying to find the big ones. I just don't do that. Me, I'll grind. And when the big thing happens, it happens. And it's like, to me, it's an augmentation of what I was doing. And I'm happy to have it. But I don't plan for it. Some people plan for that and make it part of their play. I know like 10 Ton and Vegas Day Tripper, like they're like, ATS is like they're planning on the ATS wins. They do everything else as a way to make enough money to win, to play the ATS for bigger. Like they're trying to win $300 so they can go 100 ATS. They're trying to do that. Right? Some people are trying to win 20, 30, $40 every throw. So I saw a guy there on the hard ways, right? Every time he won, he added to his hard ways. All he cared about was hard ways. He didn't give a shit. He was on 44 inside and taking the $14 and just going $12 pressed on the hard ways every single time. It's taking $2 to his rack, right? Literally, it's what he did, hoping for hard way wins. He never pressed them. He never parlayed the wins, but that's all he did. His entire thing was to play the hard ways, right? I don't play that way. I'm not looking for a home run. I'm looking for the grind. And I think it's mindset. That guy wasn't wrong. It's just how he wanted to experience the game and how he wanted to win, right? Some people want to win those big fatties on the ATS. I'm not built that way. I'm just not built that way, right? So again, to each their own. That's how I look at it, Dusted One. Everybody has their own theory on it, their own kind of wish for how they want it to happen, but that's it. All right. So where you win a cruise, is it for 2? So it depends on the money. I'll actually read it to you. Here's me and Kathy's and Mom's cruise certificates, right? So what mine says is, and I got this, this is when I had this is before the last day. I earned 500 points in the last day, but it says, I have an interior or a balcony stateroom for 1 plus a discounted cruise fare for a guest. That was my first offer was that. Kathy got ocean view balcony stateroom plus a guest. Okay. My mom got interior or balcony for 1 plus discounted cruise fare for her guest. So me and Mom got interior or balcony and a guest. Kathy got guaranteed balcony and a full guest on hers. 1,500 is the minimum that you need just to get yourself on the next sailing. Anything over that, like 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, those get you the bigger ones. I took a screenshot or a picture of the little chart thing. Tomorrow we'll talk about. I'll put the chart up so you can see it, and I'll show you what the actual levels that you need are. Trust me, it's very easy to do it. And you get to pick from. It's like it says like on select cruises, which makes it feel like you have this like limited choice. There's like almost 1,000 cruises to choose from. Like the list you get is like 64 pages long of cruises to pick from. They're really generous with it. They just want you in, right? And yes, I get little postcards in the mail every single day with cruises I can go on. Casino Royale wants you on every ship. And the nice thing is like knowing that you're going to be on a ship coming up, it's freeing because okay, the cruise is covered, and that covers your, the 7 nights in the room. It covers 3 meals a day. It covers the buffet. It covers, coffee and water stations. It covers pizza and snacks. It covers all of that, right? I can spend the next 4 months putting aside $500 for the drink package and, another $500 for a couple of excursions. You can get ready for your next cruise and save some money for the fun stuff and not have to deal with the $3,000 cabin fee. It's beautiful. Like, it's like, to me, like it's the most freeing thing. It's just great. Yeah. So, we got $200 in free play. No, $250 in free play plus our port fees covered. So you do like this, you have to pre-register while you're on the boat and you get extra free play and stuff. So as long as you do it from the ship's Wi-Fi, you're great. So, skill is my plans on roulette. Sound like Jacob goes to leverage play. It's what it is, man. I think roulette players honestly, I think roulette players always, if you watch, how many videos has Casino Quest put out in roulette? And the roulette master guys, right? He's putting out thousands of videos, right? They're all the same. Go to the dozen, this. If you lose, up a level. You lose, up a level. If you hit twice, back to start. And they're all the fucking same. And I'm like, nobody's using their wins to make money in roulette. They're all negative progressions in roulette. I think for the amount of money you put out there, that seems like a foolish way to play to me. So I'm going to try and explore roulette from our side of things, where we know whether you're a pass line and max odds player that increases the flat bet to get more odds out there, whether you're a place better who does a pressing system, we use our wins to make money. My hardway parlay came from wins on the box numbers, right? I used the box number win to feed the hardways. That was a completely casino win, right? Funded casino win. So I want to see what that works out. Let's see. The skill 66 falls, it's not perfect, obviously, because you're missing out on its core on the 4 and 10. You're also missing out, or you're required to get 2 inside hits to make it work completely. If you take the skill 66, which is, you got $66 at risk until you get the second hit versus taking 2 hits, right? Remember, the pure skill 66 goes 66 to 88 down to 44. That's the core strategy, right? You end up with 44 across and $5 in profit when it works. That's a great thing. If you just go 66 inside and do same bet, right? The first hit, same bet, your risk now, you've taken 21 off the table, your risk now is $45, right? You reduce your risk. The second hit, another $21, and you come off and go out 44 inside. The difference is you've pulled 42 off the table, right? You got to go 44 inside. You're actually upside down $2, but you reduced your risk from roll 1, right? So on a one-hit wonder, you're not losing the whole 66. The difference there is $7. I'm either into the hand for $2 or I'm in profit for $5 doing the skill 66. What the 66 does for me is it gives me options. There are times where I go 66 to 88 and I don't come down to 44. I'll stay at 88. I've gotten there and I can start working from that point. That's the thing about that strategy that I like. I can go 66 to 88, take the $28 win and go to the 4 and 10. And then come down to 44 the next time. You get options with it, which is what I like. The skill 66 gives me options. A lot of strategies don't give you the options. That's why I like it so much. And it's a go-to for me because of that. So, Dr. S, correct. Odds never change. Everything on roulette is the same house edge. Though unlike craps where you have all these different edges and you can play, roulette doesn't matter. They're all the same at house edge. It's how you use the winnings to overcome some of that stuff that I think is going to be pretty cool. So, all right, let's see. What else do I have on my docket here for today? I got a couple more things to get through and then we'll be done. Coming up on this week's shows, Holy Roller did a video on what kind of thrower are you? Ken's doing the retirement plan that he and Wayne came up with. Looks like Roll to Win. Ed did a bunch of reaction videos that I have to react to those. I got to watch those. The Ice Tongue Toss from Gargoyle and Mac. I've not yet seen that video. There was 2 or 3 new craps channels that opened up that have cracked the code. Okay, whatever, we'll watch their videos and see if they're any good or not, and we'll talk about some of that stuff too. When I do the reaction videos, by the way, I'm not doing them Ed style. I'm doing reactions to my thoughts on what I saw, not the video itself. So if the video concludes X, I'm going to say that was correct or incorrect, and we're going to talk about the learnings from that. So I'll do them a little bit differently, but I'll go through these during the week, and we'll come out with some content on that level. I'm still working on the new name for the show. I haven't decided yet. I may go back to Coffee and Craps. I mean, the thing of it is, this show is going to be more than just craps, right? I'm doing roulette and Bach and other things, so I don't want to go to Coffee and Craps, but that's kind of what it was, right? I think my favorites in the list, and some of these are the ones that came from y'all during chats. I really like House Edge Live. I think House Edge Live is great. Casino Confidential is pretty cool, but that feels more like a documentary type of name. Beyond the Bet's cool. I don't know. Pit Stop is great too, but the problem with Pit Stop is that it sounds like it's car racing, right? So I'm leaning back to Coffee and Craps and House Edge Live. If you have favorites or other ideas, drop them in the chat or drop me an email. I think those are where I'm leaning towards. So we'll pick one of these by end of week, and we'll get re-kicked off. Tomorrow, we'll talk more about the cruise ship craps notes. I'm going to talk to you tomorrow about tipping on the cruise ship in general. If you're going to be cruising, I want to talk about tipping. I want to talk about working with the casino host on the cruise ships and how that works. It's a different ballgame. Cruise ship gambling is different than land gambling. Craps is played a little bit differently. There's a couple of rules that I love on the cruise ships, by the way, that we'll talk through, that I wish land casinos would adopt. But there's more things to go on, I think. So we'll talk more about cruise ship gambling mañana. So there we go. I'm out of here, guys. Have a great, what is it? It's 8:07, a little long today. Sorry about that. But we're out of here for a Monday. See you tomorrow morning on whatever the name of the show is going to be. And that's it. God bless. I'm glad to be back. I will see y'all. Ooh, Gambler's Edge. That's a good one right there. I like that one there. Yeah, my daily bridge message is Beyond the Bet. That's actually interesting. I need to keep thinking about that. All right, let's get out of here. See y'all tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.